Good morning. Thank you for joining me again. So I will first say, um, bear with me. This is going to be my first kind of get ready with me version. I have no idea how well I'm going to do. I really hope it's not going to be torture to watch, but we're gonna try. Gotta start somewhere, right? So I'm gonna record. My husband and I are definitely gonna work on editing after, but I do want to chit chat with you guys while I get ready. And I'm hoping that this will actually be something enjoying to watch. You can get to know me a little bit better. Hopefully I pause at the right spots so that I'm able to, speed things up and I don't end up kind of talking through places that I should kind of speed things up. But anyways, like I said, bear with me and hopefully this will be fun. So let's get started. I have already washed my face, moisturized my face. I cannot stand putting makeup on with my hair down, so it is up, which is great because it's kind of crazy today anyways. And I have my coffee because I need it. Dream, and it's from Disney World. So thought it was a nice appropriate coffee mug today, and let's get started. So first I'm going to start, I always start with primer. I have been working with this primer recently. Now I did a wear test on Instagram with this primer. I find you really need to shake it up because it's a little loose. The first couple times I wore it I didn't, and it really made a difference. Also, don't use a whole lot, but it's a really thin primer. It says that it's, here's what it looks like. It's like a white, almost has like a natural sun's there, but almost has like a shimmer to it. And I find you really need to put a much more thin layer. Now it says it's pore filling. I honestly don't know that I think that it's pore filling at all, but it does work decent as a primer. So I find it lasts pretty well. My makeup seems to go on really smoothly when I use it. I do find around hour 7, I start to get breakdown around here and sometimes on my chin. But other than that, it's been a really good primer. I do almost feel bad mentioning it because the more I looked it up, the more I realized it's really hard to find. A lot of people think NYC doesn't even exist, and where I am in New Brunswick, Canada, we have it quite a bit, but from what I've looked up, I can't even find them on social media. I can't find a website that seems to be updated. I really can't find any information, so hopefully it's not a company that's going under, and I've recently recommended that, but anyways. I'm also going to use my Maybelline Superstay foundation. I have the shades Natural Ivory and Warm Nude, and this is a summer shade for me. This one is too light for me right now, so I mix them up. So I'll just mix them on my hands and put them on my face. So what I'm doing today, for those who follow me on Instagram, you may already be aware, but for those who do not, I realized I started doing this during Christmas, and obviously everybody's very interested in reviews for Christmas palettes. Well, I am on maternity leave right now. I had my first son in February. I really don't have the money to go buy all these palettes to test them out and review them. And I'm just getting started, so I want this to be fun. Just kind of enjoying the makeup that I have. So I thought it would be a fun thing to do. I'm using a Tarte foundation brush. I know a lot of people really enjoy using sponges. I just find I like the coverage of my foundation better if I use a foundation brush. And there's really good ones. I have some from Real Techniques. I have Moda. I have Luxie. Yeah, lots of really good foundation brushes. I just find that my coverage seems to be a little bit better when I use a foundation brush. All right, so anyways, going back to what I'm doing. I thought it would be fun to kind of remind ourselves, because I don't think I'm the only one in this boat, that we have a lot of makeup that's really good. Not only that, I may have some people watching that there's palettes that I have and I've had for a while that they don't have. So maybe they don't want the newest holiday palette, but they're just getting into makeup, or again, they don't have the money to go buying palettes left, right, and center, but they've been curious about a different palette that is still available. So I want to kind of do that and show them what options are out there besides just the newest, most current holiday palette. So I want to do a series called Eye-conic Palette Throwback. I did a little poll on Instagram, and the winner was the Sweet Peach palette. So that's what we're gonna do today. If you were up in makeup when that happened, when the Sweet Peach palette came out, like the whole not the whole internet, but anything that sold Sweet Peach palette just kind of went nuts. It sold like crazy. Too Faced website sold out within like seconds. Then the website froze. It sold out so quickly, and like every website had crashing issues, and you had to be on there the minute that they said it was live or it was gone. So yeah, crazy. So we're gonna do the Sweet Peach palette things. So for my concealer that I'm going to put on, I'm using this Wet n Wild, you can't even hardly see anymore, Photofocus concealer. Do I even know what the shade is? In light medium. It's a little dark, so I usually start with this. Also, I find that if I used to always use a lighter concealer under my eyes, and I never knew why. It just seemed like all my all my dark circles were still there. I don't have super bad dark circles, but I have some. And I have come to realize that I was brightening the area. I also mix in a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Fair. It is actually a smidge too light for me, but I just dot it on. Don't need much of that. Again, with brushes, I tend to prefer using a brush to put on my concealer. I find it blends much better, but keeps the coverage. I just find sometimes I do like the look of a sponge, but the coverage just doesn't last as well for me when I use a sponge. So. Then I take some of that sometimes and just run it down my nose just to highlight my nose. Sometimes I need a little extra coverage around my nose. Sometimes I to make a difference because I didn't think it did. And then some days when I just don't take the time to do that, I really can tell a difference. My makeup breaks down a little bit faster, and everything else has been exactly the same. So it's the only thing I can think of. All right, so for my eye primer, I always use an eye primer. I remember when I first started makeup, I did not use an eye primer. I thought it was a pointless step, and if I needed an eye primer with an eyeshadow, then the eyeshadow just must not be good enough. Finally, a coworker, really good friend, also named Amanda, she said, nope, you need to get an eye primer. She gave me a gift card to go get an eye primer at Sephora. I got an eye primer and I've never looked back. It's so good. I love eye primer. It just makes your eyeshadow last longer. It makes it more vibrant. Doesn't mean that the eyeshadow you are using is crap. It can be really great, but it also just, like I said, it makes it more vibrant, not crease, and I don't have oily lids, so maybe that's why I didn't have much of a problem before. But anyways, I am just using this sample size of this Too Faced Shadow Insurance that I have. It's not my favorite eye primer, I'll be honest, because I find it gets really liquidy, and like I really have to like mush it and mix it up in there, because sometimes it'll get like runny. It's really, really odd, honestly. So I just put my eye primer on. I've heard really good things about quite a few at the drugstore too, but I have not used like the Milani Shadow Insurance. I haven't used that one. I've used the e.l.f. It was okay. It's better than nothing, but personally I didn't love it. But I mean, for $1, it wasn't too bad. I really like Smashbox makes one that is phenomenal, and it does seem a little more pricey, but it lasted me for probably a year. It's really, really good. So while I let that kind of dry a bit, I use this for my brows. I don't do anything crazy with my brows. I have really sparse, like they're thicker here and then they just almost go into nothing. I know it seems like I have more than it looks, but, and they're like a weird shape, and they're kind of funky. It's hard to really get a shape out of them. So just gonna do that. Probably edit this part out. All right? So I kind of rushed on my brows, so honestly they don't look great, but whatever, I don't care. I'm not fantastic at them, and I don't try to make them look, you know, some people are really, really good at them, and that's awesome, but I'm not one of those people. I always put this Make Me Brow on after, even if I don't use anything on my brows, like if I'm just doing a really fast face, which doesn't happen often, but if I do, I just kind of rake this through my brows and at least add some color and thickness, because there's little like fibers in there, if you can see. So I'm gonna let you see the little fibers on there. All right, so on to the main event, the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Da, da, da. I actually wore this in my wedding. I have absolutely no idea what I want to do, so I am just going in and doing whatever comes to mind, which is really what I do when I do makeup. So let's see. I think I actually want to use like one of the bright peaches in my crease and really do like a peachy thing. So I've been married for 2 years. Like I said, I'm originally from North Carolina. I'm gonna take this candied peach color here on like a thicker, it's kind of a really dense, fluffy brush. Not a lot of people use this for their crease, but I don't know why. I like it. I like to use it in my crease. I am originally from North Carolina. I came up here to go to school up here, Canada, New Brunswick, Canada. And I just fell in love with this country. It's a beautiful place. I love North Carolina, don't get me wrong, but a lot of my personality really meshes with around here as well. I've made some great friends here. I very much miss my family. We're very, very close, but the distance hasn't hindered our closeness. Like I said, I talked to my mom on Messenger, we like video chat with my dad. My sister and brother and I text from time to time. So really, it's hard, but I do enjoy being here. My husband and I have been together. It'll be 9 years. Crazy. 9 years in December. And then we have been married for 2.5 years. We did a surprise wedding. Because my family's so far away, we didn't want a big thing. We did not want to go into debt getting married. Just wasn't our thing. The idea of a big wedding gave me so much anxiety. I have never been that girl as a little girl that like dreamed of her wedding and what it was going to be like and blah, blah, blah. Maybe for a little bit I wanted this gown with like kids that was so long, like the train was so long, the kids were like holding it at the end, you know, very Disney. That didn't last that long, but I never was that person that really, really had those dreams. And so we were talking about it, trying to decide what to do. And we decided, we talked to his parents. They have a camper at a lake. His dad built a little a dock for us. And we walked out on the dock. I wore like a mint green dress that I love. It was very me. And we had his cousin and his cousin's wife, my good friend, his brother there, his parents, and that was it. And they were there so I would have a witness and he would have a witness to sign our stuff. And his brother held the phone while my mom watched. And yeah, and then we told everyone after, oh, by the way, we're married. I would not change it for anything. I absolutely loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved walking barefoot on the rocks out to the water. I loved walking with him. And on the dock, it was just him and I and the minister. It was wonderful. It was so us, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So, all right, I think to deepen up my crease a little bit, I'm gonna take this Summer Yum color, and I'm going to use, find my brush. I don't know, do people find their brushes before they do this? I don't know. I'm gonna use this Luxie small tapered, the sun's in the way, you can't see that. Anyways, it's just a really small, fluffy brush. It doesn't look that much smaller, but compared to like a regular, this is the tapered brush, and this is the small tapered brush. It is actually different. So these Luxie brushes are phenomenal. I got the set at Winners, I think, for brushes. Really, really good, fantastic deal. And they're such good quality. The first time I ever had a Luxie brush, I used to get the Ipsy bags, and I got a couple of Luxie brushes in there, and I fell in love. Like, that was worth the whole Ipsy subscription when I got makeup brushes, especially when I got the Luxie ones. They were so good. I know a lot of people in the makeup world use Sigma. I have never used Sigma brushes. I just haven't spent the money on them. Again, we can find them in Marshalls sometimes, but I just haven't done it because I have good brushes. I have some Moda, Royal and Lane Nickel, Real Techniques, Sephora brushes that I've had that my husband, these were like my first nice brushes, the Sephora set. That might have been 8 years ago. Like, these are old and they work great. I have some Tarte, a couple Tarte sets I bought during Sephora sales that are phenomenal brushes. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to get, I like to get the Tarte Christmas set whenever the Sephora sale happens, but I really don't like their brush set this year. Like, they're shaped like flamingos. They don't look like practical brushes. Maybe one looks decent, but I mean, I use these, like my highlight brush, my foundation brush, that's a bronzer brush. I use these, I have eyeshadow brushes. I love them. They are so good. But yeah, disappointing, but I mean, you know, just something I don't have to spend money on, so I can't complain too much. So yeah, just to deepen out the crease, I like to slowly build it. I used to really go heavy-handed, and it was okay, but I just find it didn't always blend as well. So yeah. So far, there's my crease. That looks a little, I feel like that one's a little higher up than this one, but that's okay. Something I usually go and do around this spot is I go with another like pretty clean brush. Sometimes I just buff it out, like just to kind of smooth the edges out some. But then I also take a more neutral shade. So I think I'm gonna go in with this shade here. Peaches and Cream. Just put some on, tap it off, and just kind of buff it up there in the crease, and then it'll kind of just smooth out that shade there. There. All right. I really, really want to use this green. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. I mean, come on. That's like so southern. Bless her little heart. Reminds me of home. So, what brush am I going to use? I have these brushes from Real Techniques. What is it? They're like, the shape is so, it's like cut, like slanted there. Anyways, these are really, really good. I'm going to use that. I'm going to take some of Bless Her Heart on that, and I'm just going to put that in this corner here. Try to keep it just on my lid. And then I'm gonna flip the brush actually over and just kind of run it in the crease just a little bit to kind of blend it nicely. Sorry, I paused there. I heard my husband. He has our son. He is teething. I think he's actually cutting. He's got these teeth and these teeth. He's cutting like 2 here and 2 here at the same time. So it's been a rough little go while he's getting those. Teething is hard. He's not sleeping well. He's just miserable. He's a big comfort nurser. So he is just nursing all the time. Which honestly, like, I can say, oh yeah, it's great. It's hard sometimes. Let's be completely honest. It's hard when he always wants to be attached to me. I love it in a sense because I love the cuddles, but it's hard too because like it's your body, right? And you're just like, okay, just give me a break. Like, just let me have a break. And then sometimes he'll bite down, which we are working with now, telling him no biting, that hurts mommy. He's not doing it maliciously. He's doing it because his gums hurt and he needs to bite to comfort. So we have a gazillion teethers, but hey, if you have something that works, let me know. That'd be great. I would love to hear it. Now at this point, I am a big fan of like, I want my shadows to really, really blend together nicely. And you can see the bit of the line there where I put the green on. So what I'm gonna do is take that brush I used, if I can find where I stuck it, here, that small tapered brush, I'm gonna go back into that Summer Yum color here, and I'm just gonna get a little, and I'm just gonna go back in that crease and kind of blend it together just so they mesh. So this is sometimes where it really does help to have a primer, an eye primer on, because it helps the eyeshadow not just blend away. Sometimes if you don't have an eye primer, when you blend that, maybe that green would just wash away. And with some colors that happens anyways, but it does help. It helps that cling a little bit better, so. I'm warm. Usually I open my window when I do my makeup, but it is insanely, insanely windy right now. So I am trying not to open it because I'd probably knock everything over. All right, so I did that. Now I'm thinking to keep with the like peachy, I'm gonna use this Bellini, this Bellini shade here. It's kind of like a peachy, pinky champagne, like there's a bit of gold flecks in it. So I'm gonna take, I have this again, Luxie flat shader brush. Has some more coffee. Tap it off and just really make sure that I kind of blend the two shades together so there's not this stark line. Just put that on. Now, something I do, I know when some people review eyeshadow, they talk about how, you know, the shadow really needs to be put on with your finger, a shimmer shadow like that to really have the impact. And I actually don't mind that. A lot of shades I end up going back over with my finger, and I'll probably do that too, just to get like quite the impact that I want. But that's that. I'm gonna take that green brush, and I'm a big person, and this is okay. Again, makeup doesn't have to have all these specific rules, specific way you do things. I'm a big person and I do it, and then I go back and just kind of blend it back together. So I'm gonna take that brush again that had that green. I'm gonna take that Bless Her Heart and just kind of deepen that back, just kind of blend where I put that. And then it just kind of meshes the colors together so that they go together nicely and they really blend nicely. So just kind of softly, I'm not even pushing very hard, but just softly blend them there, just so they blend together. And again, I'm going to take a little bit of the Bellini shade on my finger, just kind of dot it just to get that extra bit of pigmentation, that extra shimmeriness. So yeah, I hear my son crying. I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna go check on him. Not that it'll make a difference to you guys, we will probably edit through this, but if I look different when it starts back, that's fine. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, he was having, again, his gums are bothering him so much. We do give him medicine, but they hurt. It's only doing so much for him. So, okay, so now I'm gonna line the under part of my eye. This is the first brush of Luxie Beauty I ever got. It is short. this in an Ipsy bag. And I'm gonna take that Summer Yum shade there. And I'm gonna line it closer to my waterline there. Do the same on the other side. This is a step that I don't feel complete if I don't smoke out my under eye. I don't know what it is. Once I started, again, it was one of those things I couldn't go back. Like I just had to do it. So I'm going to take that Candied Peach, the same as I did on the top there. This is a slightly bigger, fluffier brush. It is a Royal and Lang Nickel mini flat smudger. Just gonna put some on there and then just kind of like dust it underneath my eye there. Like that. This little set of Royal and Lang Nickel brushes, which if you don't know is the same company that makes Moda brushes. Hard to find in Canada, but I got them at Marshall's a while ago, and I love the brushes. I use them all the time. So last thing, another one for my Royal and Lang Nickel set. I'm going to take a little bit, I think I'm going to do this Luscious color here and just put it on the inner corner of my eye. Just right there, just to brighten that up. Inner corner. Gotta brighten it. All right, so that was the Sweet Peach palette. It's such a pretty palette. I'm really glad I'm doing this because it's one of those that I don't use as much as I used to. And every time I use it, I'm reminded that I really think it was worth the hype that it got. It was so different. It was beautiful, and it is beautiful. And if it's a palette that you don't have, I think it'd be great to say, hey, I want this for the holidays. You're just starting in makeup. I think there's a couple of sets actually. But yeah, it's such a good palette if you don't have it. The brush I'm using is a Rimmel London Scandalize and Nude. As you can see, I use it every day. And I just line the under eyes. I just find it wakes my eyes up a little bit. And then for mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I always take a mirror so I can really see that I'm getting my lashes coated really, really well, and get it right up close and kind of underneath so I can make sure I'm really getting in there good. And I always do my bottom lashes as well. Dip back in. Reminder for those who may be starting, do not pump your mascara. That dries it out, helps bacteria build up. Just dip it in. If you need more stuff on your mascara wand, just twirl it around, but don't pump if you don't know that. All right, and I like to do just one more coat on my top lashes. I don't coat my bottom lashes again. I usually don't even stick it back in. I just turn the brush around. All right, there's my face. I always use a setting mist. I love this Pixi Skip Treats Makeup Fixing Mist. Shake it up because it does have rose water in it, so you gotta mix it and then And it smells so good. All right, I'm gonna pause this, get a lipstick, and I'll be right back. All right, my lipstick's on. To stick with the Too Faced Peach theme, like I messed up there, I use the Too Faced Peach, I think they're like Peachy Mattes or something. Anyways, I use the shade Got Peach. And they smell like peaches, they're so good. So that's what I used on my lips. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually loved filming this. I'm super excited to do more. I kind of thought it would stress me out, but it didn't. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you enjoy the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Let me know what other palettes you want me to do. I have a list going, but obviously there's some like the Chocolate Bar, Naked. I'm probably going to do a couple of the Kat Von D holiday palettes that came out that were a huge hit. Some other palettes, any that you can think of that you want me to go back. Even if they were iconic for a bad reason, I plan on doing the Subculture palette as well. So stick around for that. Modern Renaissance, any of those. Please let me know. If I have it, I will definitely do a video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I want to get to know you guys. Let me know about you. I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit about me. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.